Who says you can't make a standard hardcover into a special edition? Hey everyone, welcome back to Andrew's Wizardly Reads, and as always guys, I am Andrew. Today we are kind of reviewing some dust jackets. But before we get into that, please do me a favor and like this video and subscribe to the channel, as it does help the channel grow. And you can check the description box down below for links to my Patreon, the Discord, and all my other links if you want to check those out. Now, this is a refilm of this introduction because essentially I had some issues with the initial unboxing. So we're going to kind of cut to the video and then you can watch that. And then at the end, I will have my follow-up with my final rating and my final recommendation. With that out of the way, I promised you a special video, and that's what we're going to do. This is probably my most expensive video ever, just for an idea. So, essentially, if you've heard of Juniper books, I don't know if you've had of Juniper books. If you've heard of Juniper books, they are a special edition dust jacket company that kind of makes these amazing special edition dust jackets that kind of zhuzh up the shelf. And I have Wheel of Time up there, and I've been wanting to get the Juniper books for Wheel of Time to try out and see if it's worth it for a long time. However, that's very expensive, and I thought, well, what's another series that I could kind of zhuzh up a little bit? And I was like, well, you know what? Folio Society has the A Song of Ice and Fire collections, but those are $1,000. Well, do they have the illustrated editions? Yes, but only 3 of them, and it's of middling to mixed quality within those. So what if I could go out and get the standard hardcovers of A Song of Ice and Fire and then just slap on the Juniper books dust jacket? As you can see, this is still sealed. I haven't even opened this yet. I haven't laid eyes on it. I'm gonna tell you what, this was an expensive endeavor. For just 6 dust jackets, this was around $100 after shipping and taxes. So these are very expensive. So I'm gonna open up with that right out of the gate. And then also, because I didn't own the standard hardcovers for A Song of Ice and Fire, I had to send away for them. And luckily, I was able to find an eBay listing of the first 5, not including Fire and Blood, for around $40 with $10 in shipping. So that's $50 right there. Now, that is very cheap for these listings because the Game of Thrones was destroyed within the first 5, so I had to send out for another Game of Thrones standard hardcover. You can see where this kind of has escalated quite a little bit for this particular experiment. But what we're going to do is I'm going to open this Juniper Books dust jacket box. We're going to take a look at the dust jackets, and then we are going to put them on the hardcovers, and then I'm going to see how I feel about it. Is it worth getting the Wheel of Time? Are these worth your investment for just dust jackets to kind of make your standard hardcovers special editions? So let's go ahead, and I've got my handy dandy scissors right here. Let's try and knot and cut these dust jackets. They're supposed to be like smudge proof, dust proof. Well, I don't want to say proof. They're supposed to be smudge resistant, dust resistant, and tear resistant, I believe, for these dust jackets is the pitch that is mentioned online. I have watched multiple videos, or at least one video, no, multiple videos, I would say, of Daniel Green, because he collaborated with Juniper to do the Wheel of Time dust jackets. And so ever since then, Juniper's kind of been in the back of my mind, and I finally just wanted to see. Let's see, this is a difficult box to open. Oh, no, it's not. I'm just trying to open the box incorrectly. All right, so in the box, we've got my invoice. We've got this handy, nice little books like you've never seen before, Juniper books. And yeah, so there's horizontal and vertical book sets. I didn't know that. Hopefully I got the right one. Okay. So the dust jackets come nice and bubble wrapped. We don't need this box anymore. Off with you. Off to the side. Away! All right, we're held on with a single piece of tape. I don't really want to pull on this too god-awful much. So, there we go. Let's see if I can learn to use scissors. Because, you know, as a left hand... Oh, no, I've dropped them. They just unraveled and fell on the floor. All right, but so far, I do like what I see. I kind of all like this. I did go online, and what Juniper does is they kind of list the ISBN that should match the hardcover. However, that is not foolproof. A lot of book companies will just reuse an ISBN. So I'm fingers crossed I've even done this correctly. And that's kind of a reason I've been super nervous about using Juniper. Because once a edition changes, they'll make modifications. And they're like, hey, you just have to kind of ask us. And so hopefully I don't have to do that. But we've got Dance of Dragons here on top. We've got, a Storm of Swords. Fire and Blood. Alright, Clash of Kings. Feast of Crows, or Feast for Crows. And a Game of Thrones. And that should be all of them. Alright, let's see if we can make it happen, Captain. So, right here we've got, this is Game of Thrones. So, I've got these all jumbled up. So, as you can see, we've got Game of Thrones here. We're going to take the old dust jacket and away with you. Alright, so we've got a nice standard hardcover here. This is the Bantam edition. And we're just going to try and kind of line it up and see what happens. That goes kind of like that. We're just going to kind of... They do come pre-folded and pre-scored, so this should be fairly plug and play. Ooh, there's a little bit of resistance there. That kind of makes me nervous. It's not the greatest fit. It just says book 1. And see, already I'm very nervous because that has not folded well. It's lined up well, so I know I've got the right size, but the way that this has been pre-scored makes me incredibly nervous. I've seen these been shipped before in like a tube. So like if I've bought a special edition and I have a damaged dust jacket, they will ship it in a tube where it's pre-scored but not pre-folded. And I do wish this was just kind of scored instead of folded because those folds are not lining up super well. So already for $100, we don't have a perfect crease right there because they have decided to pre-fold these. So that is an issue that I have right off the bat. And I'm trying to just, as deftly as I possibly can. All right, well, I'm not super happy with that because we've got this sharp sort of crease right here that they put on. And hardcovers don't have a sharp crease. It should be a softer crease. So already I am finding a little bit of fault with this set already. That is a genuine nitpick. I would have much rather these have been shipped in a roll instead of pre-folded for me. So that way I would have nobody to blame but myself. But right now I can kind of lay that at the feet of Juniper. But I will say these feel great in the hand. So hopefully with time it'll relax. But we're going to go ahead and what's directly behind me? We're going to go ahead and put Game of Thrones right there so you can just kind of see it. Next up, we've got Feast for Crows. Let's see. Feast for Crows. Ooh, these are heavy, heavy hardcovers. All right. And you can kind of see, like on a standard hardcover, we've got this kind of nice rounded fold on the dust jacket. And these are more of a pointed fold on the Juniper dust jackets. So, again, I wish these had not been pre-folded, and instead they've just been scored, and they would allow me to do it, which when they're pre-scored, it makes it very easy to just fold across the score, and you get a much nicer bend, and it will fit the books a little better, almost like it was intended to. And again, you can see right here, I'll show you, we've got Feast for Crows. I've got that all the way in. And I'm having some issues right here. It is not fit particularly well because of that pre-fold. It's too sharp, and it's making me pull the dust jacket, and it's not fitting. So already, Feast for Crows we're going to have to do a little later right now. I bought the exact Feast for Crows that they told me to do, and this isn't working. So again, it's not looking good for the Juniper sets, but... you know, it is what it is. We've got Clash of Kings right here. We're going to try this one. And I'm just incredibly nervous for these. Let me try and do something a little different here. let's go ahead and move all of this off of my work area. We're gonna put that right there. All right, Clash of Kings, Clash of Kings. So I'm gonna set it down spine first. I know you can't see what I'm doing, but I'm gonna slide that in to the dust jacket, and we're gonna lift it and slide that into the dust jacket, and let's see how that worked. All right, it's pulling on it a little bit, but I think, again, that pre-fold is not doing great. All right, this one has worked. Okay, that one looks good. We've got Clash of Kings. We're gonna come back and we're gonna try and do Feast for Crows. It already wants to jump open because of the way that the dust jacket is folded. And again, this was not sent to me. I spent my own money on these, and I just want you to know if this is worth buying as a consumer. All right, we've got Feast for Crows, Feast for Crows, bottom of the book. All right, we're gonna go spine down first. This may be the correct method of doing it, and maybe I was just doing it wrong and making things more difficult on myself. That has gone better. So what I would recommend doing is, if you do buy these, is lay the dust jacket flat and then stick the spine in and let the book boards fall into those creases naturally. That makes this go a bit easier. All right, come on. It doesn't want to close though. It's still fighting me a little bit. No, this does not fit. This is not good. You can kind of see right here, Feast for Crows is pulled off to the side right here. This is the wrong dust jacket. This dust jacket does not fit this book. So we have a miss on Feast for Crows. We will try again in a minute, but right now I'm too scared to force that to go. All right, I do have another copy of Feast for Crows that I am willing to try. We are next going to do Fire and Blood. And I bought the first edition hardcover of Fire and Blood. So we've got Fire and Blood right here. And we will toss the dust jacket. I'm going to lay it down spine first, just like this. And we're going to let the boards fall in. All right. I'm very nervous about this. All right. Is it going to line up? It does line up very well. So this one has gone a lot better. So it's not perfect, but there we go. We have got Fire and Blood by George R.R. Martin. So we're going to put that right there. And let's see if we can get that to fit a little better. There we go. Okay, we got Fire and Blood. We've now got Storm of Swords. All right, I've got Storm of Swords, and so we're going to reach over here. And we've got Storm of Swords for the dust jacket. All right. So I've taken off the dust jacket. We've got the regular Storm of Swords, right? Yep, Storm of Swords. And this is where I'm currently at in the series. I believe I am on book 3, Storm of Swords. That's book 3, right? I don't know. We'll find out. I'm pretty sure that's book 3. I've been meaning to come back and reread A Song of Ice and Fire and finish it out. Well, at least as far as the series is currently. So we're going to fold that up. And that one has worked incredibly well as well. So there we go. Storm of Swords has worked. All right, we're going to put that right there. And that leaves A Dance with Dragons. Okay. So we're going to take off the dust jacket. Spine down. Okay. We're going to just slowly fold it up. No, that does not line up super well. Again, I really wish they hadn't done this. This is just a poor way to send. You can see it's pulled off to the side because this sharp edge is pulling the dust jacket, and this is just the incorrect way to ship dust jackets. So I'm gonna try and see if I can't get it to be a little bit better. So, nope. That's the problem with restructuring dust jackets, is once they are folded forever. So again, I wish they hadn't done this. And I will keep harping on the fact that this is poor practice. This is not what I wanted to see when it shipped. I thought that they were going to ship it rolled in a tube, scored instead of folded. Okay, I think I've got it. It doesn't look the best on the boards, but there we go. We've got Dance of Dragons. It is slightly pulled off to this side. Again, because you can see how the dust jacket is straining to kind of, you can see that sharp point right there. It is straining to kind of fit in the right place. And that's about as good as I can get it. It is not perfectly centered. Now, with my Feast for Crows, I do have a second copy of Feast for Crows. Okay, and I'm back, and I kind of want to showcase what I mean by the ISBN isn't exactly the way to go for Juniper, is because these are two different printings of this book. But they both have the exact same ISBN, 9780553801507, which is what is listed on the site. They are the same right here. I don't know if the camera will focus in. Those are the exact same ISBNs. So I'm going to take off the dust jacket of this one, and you can quite clearly see these are different editions of the book. So I'm going to try and put my Feast for Crows in the red one instead of the Bantam one. Well, they're both Bantam. But I'm going to try this one instead of this one, despite the fact that I think it's meant for this one. Alright, we're going to take the red one, and we're going to go spine side down. We're going to fold out the boards. Alright, this one seems to be going a little better. Although, no. This one is it does not want... You see how I have to force that fold over? That is not good. But, yeah, this is not centered. This is not centered at all. So again, I don't know what to do here with Feast for Crows, because this seems to be a faulty dust jacket that they have sent me. And again, I will reiterate, these sets were $100. So I don't know how I feel currently about Juniper books. I was already salty after having spent $100 on just dust jackets, which, don't get me wrong, to upgrade my standard ones, it would have been $180 versus $1,000 for the folios. Like, I understand that is a much better cost expenditure, but at the same time, these are just dust jackets. I would still love to get the Junipers for the Wheel of Time to see if it's a better expenditure, but right now, I'm gonna go ahead, if I'm gonna grade these, I'm gonna give them a C+ at best, mainly because they were already pre-folded, which they should not have been. That's just a poor way of making your dust jackets fit. And also, like, again, you can just score it and then fold it over later. But one of my books, I've tried both editions with this ISBN, and it does not work. So I will be reaching out to Juniper Books customer service. All right, so it's time for part 2. Now, essentially, as you saw in the video, you can check out this picture right here, I should say. This is what it kind of looked like initially, and I had to reach out to customer service for Juniper Books. And I now do have a replacement dust jacket. And the initial interaction was, hey, sometimes, your book has settled, and it's not the dust jacket's fault, and you kind of got to stretch them and refold them. And my response was yes, that kind of worked. But the minute I took it off, it just snapped back into the bad kind of position with just like a hair better, and the dust jacket wasn't fitting quite right. I didn't explain. I basically stated, hey, this is a premium product. This is a very expensive premium product. I would still like you to send a replacement dust jacket. And they said, fine, and so they did. This is the replacement, and with no stretching, you can see that it was in fact not my book, but it was their dust jacket. You can see it right here. And so, again, for a premium product where they're basically saying, hey, you can just kind of force it into shape, I expect it to kind of fit the book the first time, which was obviously, it was a defect with this dust jacket and not with my book. And for that to be the default response for something that is this pricey for this company, I'm not super thrilled. Overall rating for looks, I'm going to give these dust jackets from Juniper I don't know, I'll give them a solid 8 out of 10. Price, I'm gonna fail you. I'm gonna give you an F. I think these are probably twice as expensive as they need to be. Again, these are just pieces of paper. And I don't know. I don't know if I can justify the cost of Juniper books for the product that you get. These are still just a standard hardcover. So I'm not super thrilled on the price. Shipping costs, again, I'm going to fail you. It was like less than £1 and it was still $13 to ship. Packaging, I did state that I wasn't super happy that these were creased, which I still think led to the issue of this with Feast for Crows. So I would rather these come in a tube, kind of like a poster tube where they were rolled up and then I could fold them on. They do have a nice video that they can send you to show you how to put them on the books, which I thought was really, really good. Customer service. Customer service is a big selling point. I will pay for overpriced products if customer service is good. And I'm going to give the customer service a B. They get a B because they did try and convince me that it was the book and not the dust jacket, but they did not fight me when I asked for a new replacement dust jacket, and the new replacement dust jacket did arrive promptly, is what I'm trying to say. So I do like customer service. I used to work in customer service. If you've got good customer service, I will continue to work with you. So I do like that. Now, in terms of the product, I have 2 Feast for Crows here, right? So if I look at, right here, you can, I don't know if you can kind of see, but I put a shiny bit of my skin oil onto the dust jacket and it literally just wipes right off. So in terms of keeping your dust jacket clean, I love it. That gets an A. In terms of strength of the dust jacket, I'm actually pushing on the edge here, and it's not damaging. Now, I did bump one of my books with a full-on book, and it did kind of crinkle a little bit, but I mean, you can kind of see there's no damage right there. So that's why I have Mylar wrap these, is to basically just add an additional layer of protection. So I will give the durability of the dust jacket probably an A. Now this is going to hurt me because these are supposed to be tear resistant. So we've got a extra dust jacket. We're gonna tear it. All right, we're gonna try and tear this. So I'm gonna go kind of right in the middle, and it. Okay, we've got. All right, on tear resistance, I'm gonna give this an A. I am actually having to. I'm gonna actually have to. There we go. I had to put some welly into that. I had to give it some go. The tear resistance on these is very, very good. I'm actually quite pleased with the tear resistance on that. It hurt me to do this, but I mean, frankly, I would give tear resistance a solid A. I actually had to actively try and tear this dust jacket, so that is very good. I'm very, very pleased with that. So again, an A. So the product you're getting is very good. I just still think it's a little overpriced for what you are getting. Again, these are just dust jackets. I would have liked to seen these kind of priced maybe in the $50 to $60 range. And honestly, if the shipping was cheaper, I think I would have been a little more okay with the price. Again, the shipping was $13 for 6 dust jackets. For 6 pieces of paper, I had to pay $13 in shipping. And that's a bit much. But yeah, no, in terms of the actual product, though, I think the product is very good. So I'm going to kind of average that all out, and I'm going to give them probably a C+ for Juniper Books. That is my final rating on the company and the product as a whole. Hopefully, I might work with them again. I'm still considering the Wheel of Time set. I have all the books, but I do like the way that the dust jackets look. So maybe we will see how I feel about it after that. But that is my thoughts on these dust jackets. I hope you enjoyed this video. And till next time, guys, peace out. Stay magical. Bye. And as always, I want to give a huge thank you to my patrons. Thank you for supporting my passion and my hobby.